Tom Clancy's The Division. It's coming out March 8th, which is less than 2 weeks away now, so that means time is running out for myself and probably a lot of you out there as well. We have to decide whether or not we're gonna buy this thing. Last weekend they had the open beta going on, and I did get to play a little bit, not as much as I wanted to, but I think I at least got a feel for what the game is gonna be like. That being said, I did have a few issues with the game, but at the same time, I see a lot of potential as well. I want to start off by talking about the good bits. The gameplay, at its core, is a lot of fun. The battles are suspenseful, they require you to think tactically, move around, and use all the weapons you have at your disposal. The cover system works great, and the third-person view is appropriate for the gameplay. I also really love the premise of this game. I love the fact that we get to roam around a post-apocalyptic New York. The graphics are great, the whole atmosphere of the city is eerily beautiful, and the changing weather is really submersive. In fact, this is probably what impressed me the most about the game, was the attention to detail Ubisoft has put into the actual city itself, and the whole atmosphere and weather system. It was just great. They did a really great job of at least visually making you feel like you were right there in New York, fighting ruffians on the streets. The only damper on this was the game's sound design, but that's not really a deal breaker for me. Yeah, it could be better, it could sound less like they recorded everything in an empty room with bare walls, but you know, it is what it is. One other thing that makes me really want to buy this game is the potential I see in it. I feel like The Division could be a game I would enjoy playing for a long time, but I'm not sure if it will be yet. Now, I've never played Destiny before, and you might be like, what the hell, why is he bringing up Destiny? Well, let me explain. I feel like The Division could be kind of like Destiny, but on a slightly smaller scale, I guess, and obviously a much different setting. But in Destiny, you have your character that you play as and level up and whatnot, all the while completing quests and dungeons to get better weapons and loot. Then, you know, the DLC comes out and you get a brand new quest or dungeon to play, and it renews your interest in the game. I feel like The Division could follow a similar type of model here. I always wanted to play Destiny, but I don't have a PS4, so I never could. I did watch a lot on Twitch though, and I really feel like The Division has the opportunity to do something similar here. Now, I don't know how they have the Dark Zone all planned out, but right now it's basically just a place where you run around shooting the odd baddie here, going into different contaminated zones, until you find 6 items. Then you head back to an extraction zone to send your loot back to your stash. Wash, rinse, repeat. I mean, the Dark Zone is supposed to feature PvP action, but to be completely honest with you, nobody ever wanted to fight each other in the Dark Zone in my experience. Every time I ran into another player, they would instantly be like, yo, I'm friendly, wanna stick together and find some loot? Like, almost nobody was actually interested in fighting each other, and the few people who did attack other agents in the Dark Zone would typically only be alive for about 20 seconds after that. Because literally everyone around him would just turn their focus on the little red rogue agent marker and just wipe him out. But don't get me wrong here, I'm not upset that people want to work together to get loot. I love that, which brings me back to Destiny. That's what Destiny is all about, you know, getting your group together to tackle a quest or a dungeon that requires multiple people to complete. That's the kind of stuff I was looking forward to doing in The Division. It would be awesome if they had buildings in the city that you go into which would serve as dungeons, you know, that you would need a bunch of people together to be successful in, complete with bosses and puzzles and everything. That would be amazing. But if all it's gonna be is just these little random containment zones here and there scattered around the map, it looks like The Division could end up being kind of boring and repetitive. For example, I recorded every second I played in the beta, and as I sit here reviewing the footage, there is an awful lot of me doing this. And this. So my biggest complaint is that if this is all the Division is gonna be like, running around in the Dark Zone, collecting some loot and extracting it, maybe some random missions in the non-dark zone that have you finding missing people or, you know, collecting parts to upgrade your base with, I don't know if it's gonna hold my interest that long. And I know this is the beta, and the full game is obviously gonna have a lot more content, including missions and encounters, which, by the way, is how you can get some of the game's best loot, apparently. And I think that's pretty cool. The Dark Zone isn't always going to be the best way to get top-rated gear, so that at least gives the player some incentive to do the regular missions and stuff as well. Definitely a good idea on Ubisoft's part there. But if they could create some real top-notch co-op content for the Dark Zone, then the game could be amazing. Imagine a dungeon-like expansion of raiding the Empire State Building, you know? Fighting your way to the top where a boss with a crazy mounted machine gun is waiting for you or something like that. If I can think it up, someone at Ubisoft must be able to see the same potential I see with this game. And I know they're going to have different level contaminated zones too, which require, you know, a certain level filter to survive in and stuff. I guess the contaminated zones are sort of like little mini dungeons, but I was really hoping for something a lot more than just that. I was hoping for some really, you know, big buildings or big zones at least that had a horde of enemies in them and a boss at the end sort of thing. But in Ubisoft's defense, they did say that enemy encounters would be a lot more frequent in the full game. That must have been everyone's main concern. When it comes down to it, I ask myself one question. Did I have fun playing the game during the beta? The answer is yes. But does The Division look like the game I think it's going to be? Or I was hoping it was going to be? Not 100%. But what is life if you don't take chances, right? I'm pretty sure I will be picking up this game on release in hopes that the taste I got in the beta was just that, a taste. Hopefully the full game will be a bit more involved and have, you know, a lot more to do than what the beta made it look like there was gonna be. And I wanna know what you guys think as well. Let me know in the comments. Are you gonna be buying The Division when it comes out? Does the game interest you at all? And if you are gonna get it, what is it about the game that made you decide to buy it? Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like on your way out, and I'll see you all in the Dark Zone on March 8th.